I would like to begin the interview today, this very exciting episode of Aaron's Opinion 2, of course, by telling you how thankful I am that you are well and that you are able to join us today. It really means a lot to me to be able to record episodes with great people from all over the world. It's really, really cool. Um,
Yeah.
and so, by the way, so let's get started with me asking you. So, Wajibi, how how did you first hear about Aaron's Opinion 2? How did you hear about my show, my YouTube, my podcast? How did you hear about us?
Yeah. As you sent me the link via Facebook, I linked up and then I went on your broadcasting on YouTube and I listened to very many people you have been meeting with, and I had very many recordings. So the story, it goes along the same thing I am talking about today. We are trying to understand what's going around the world about people with disabilities. And indeed, I found that some things they are related on what is happening in Uganda. That's what I was happy of in whatever I found in most of the things you have been recording with other fellows of mine.
You
Yeah,
know, you
that's what I can
know,
say for now.
and that's fine because I really, really, really appreciate you for saying that, my friend. I think you have really put your finger on exactly what the problem is. That you know what?
Yes.
That these problems that I've been talking about on my show for a very long time, several years, you were probably sitting,
Yes.
you were probably at home there in Uganda thinking, gee, these are the same problems that I'm seeing in my country. So it's not just so my point is it's not just your imagination. These are not problems only exclusive to Uganda. These problems and challenges that people in the disability community face are problems of the world. And the fact that you recognize that and have been calling me every day basically begging me to let you on my show really 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 makes me appreciate you as a person, and I just cannot thank you enough for never giving up and being and having the courage and strength to come and be patient with me and be willing to have the conversation, and that means everything to me. So you're absolutely right, that people who are blind have significant challenges all over the world. The other thing that is correct and true, at least in my opinion, is that life is not a fair thing, and I tell people this all the time. Life is not fair. So one of the things that is true is that the challenges that people face in Uganda, and in Africa and in other countries on your continent of Africa, are quite significant. As you know, I'm sure you listened to an episode where we interviewed our great friend Lamin Jaula from Gambia. I'm sure you listened to that one. So
Mm,
I've spoken to several other people from your region, along with Wadudu, your brother Ambros, and he also said that there are many challenges in Uganda. So for one, if you do not mind me asking, well, as you know, my name is Aaron, and I was born blind. I was born with something wrong with my eyes. So how did you become blind?
yeah, it's Ambrose who told me. And he explained to me that this person, he wants to understand much about people with disabilities. And if you discuss with him, I think he can encourage you in some things. Because that brother of mine is the one who helped me until I studied some things like that. See?
Right,
However,
sure.
I did not, yes, even if that I did not complete, but I'm sure that at least I have something little. That's why I do understand your English, and also I can try to speak my English I know to you.
Good.
Uh,
You are doing
yeah,
wonderful. You're doing
because
great, man.
so, and most of the people here, they do ignore we people. You see, they take them behind the doors, as I told you some time back.
Indeed.
And you- yeah, yes, even if someone has something like 5 children, and the fifth one is a person with a disability, you find that when time comes that maybe that home has some visitors, they tell that one to hide him or herself. Then these four, they should be present. You see, they
Right.
introduce, yeah, yeah, they introduce only the four. Then the one with the
Ah,
disability, that one they
I want to clarify I understood you, my friend. I want to tell the listener a little bit more about that. So what 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 our friend from Uganda is explaining, just to clarify, because we have listeners all over the world, man. Um, so what you just said is really important, and I want you guys at home to listen to this. He just said that if a family in Uganda, in his country, has 5 children, and one of those children is blind or disabled, the family will tell the public we have 4 children, and they will push that disabled person aside, and they will push him out of the way and hide him. Is that true?
yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's it.
That is it.
Yes.
This is what I've seen. I've heard the same from Ambros, and I too have heard the same story from Lamin Jaula from Gambia. This is a tremendous problem in your region in general. Not to generalize, just saying it's not just Uganda. This is how people with disabilities are treated in many of the countries on your continent of Africa. Yes, indeed. And by the way, I have never been to your beautiful country, but I have been to Swaziland. I've been to Eswatini. So I I can kind of imagine a little bit what it must be like in Uganda. So I've been to your region like in person before. Yes, you really have a beautiful country and a beautiful way of life. You really do. Yes. So, but to go back a little bit, um,
Yeah,
so how did you become blind? How did you lose your eyesight?
yeah, I told you some time back as we began our conversation on
Okay,
Facebook
but
before.
well let's tell it for the interview because the listener doesn't know about the Facebook conversation.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
Right.
It's okay. I don't
Yes.
understand. So here, I became blind by my mom. They had their wrangles with my father, whereby the mother, I think she wanted to do abortion, whereby it did not go on well. Instead, I became blind. So instead
Oh.
of the abortion going on successful, okay?
So if I am understanding you correctly, did you say, are you telling us here that you actually when you were born, the doctor told your mother that you're blind and that your mother wanted to abort you, correct?
The people who were there when she's trying to do so, but the doctors did not understand that, okay?
Uh,
But people who were there
okay.
when she's trying to process, yeah,
Oh, that's okay. So you lost. Okay, well, no worries about that little fact of it. But so okay, so then you lost your vision. And then what?
yeah. I just got born when it's already when I'm already blind.
Okay, so in other words, by the time you were
Yeah,
born, in other words,
yeah.
by the time you were born, you were blind, right?
Yes. Yeah, they
I
tried
see.
to take me to some to they tried to take me to several hospitals, but it couldn't be corrected. Yeah.
Mm,
So they,
mm,
and they just told them that don't waste your money because uh, it will not be in position for us to correct his site.
Right, right. So we would say that the doctors of that time, but and how old are you, my friend? I am almost 30 years old. How old are you?
I'm 27.
Okay, so
Yes.
you're a little younger than me, but around my same age. Yeah, yeah. So you were born in the
Yeah.
90s, right? And probably at that time, the doctors in Uganda in those days felt that they couldn't really handle eye surgery and ophthalmology at that time frame, in that time period. Indeed, right?
Yeah.
I see. Well, that is, that does not surprise me at all. And that this is, as you were noticing, these are problems that are very, very, very common in many developing nations. A lot of people lose their vision due to medical care, due to accidents, due to illness, due to a lot of things that we in North America and the developed world would just take for granted. So it's your story, and the reason why I just love having you here on my podcast family forever now is because it's important for you to speak up as a successful Ugandan and as a successful citizen of the world to educate people and say, you know what, here are the problems of my country, and you need to care about it, and you need to know that this is going on. And so anyway, so nowadays, are you goodness, that voiceover. Are you living in Kampala now?
No, I'm in a place called, okay, district called Sironko. Kampala is my capital city, but I'm in my own district called Sironko. Yeah.
Ah, indeed, indeed. So what can you try to tell me a little bit more about your town, or like what it looks like, or how you would describe the place you live to a blind person? What do you think?
To a blind. Mm, the way I see, okay, it's not so, okay, people living there like drivers and other things, they're not so much educative about people with disability. Even a vehicle
Right.
can knock you because they don't understand much about a white cane. You see,
Hmm.
that's what.
And this
Yeah,
is another critical thing, is that the simplest things are simply misunderstood or not even known about. I
yeah,
once I had a guide I had a service dog in my life. I had a guide dog, and her name was
yes,
Nani, and she was a Labrador retriever, a very sweet dog. And
yeah,
once I went to an island nation in the Caribbean Sea, and
yes,
the people there didn't really know about guide dogs. So sometimes it's not, in addition to them not being understanding of the white cane, if not enough people have a white cane, if not enough people have that, then people don't really understand what it is, even if you explain, even if you explain in your language. I believe you speak Luganda, I believe is what it's called, along with probably a couple others, right? Even if you
yeah,
explain to people what the white cane is, it does not mean that they will understand. So this can be very, very difficult for people to understand in many countries. So,
yeah.
um,
Mm.
okay, so then so like, how do you explain and how do you tell people about? So, do you still use your white cane today?
Yeah, we do understand we should move with it. Yeah, but
Right.
some people they don't know how you can use it mostly,
Mm-hmm.
whereby they may think maybe you are saying if in case you are moving in the good way, you are trying to understand where you are going. So they don't know that also we use that white cane. While we use sound echo, they think if you move straight, you are pretending you are sighted, but you want to claim that you are blind. You see?
You know what? That's another common one that we're faking. A lot of now that happens even in America, not just in Uganda. That happens in America too. A lot of Americans think that blind people are faking. Yes, that's common. It's very common. Yes.
So
So
with that, and yes,
you, right. And so what can so would you like to share with my audience some of the experiences that you have had, going to school in Uganda and things of that nature?
I say this today as you have given me this chance and this opportunity. I just share with them that it's good for the person with a disability to go to school. However much some people, or let me say, they ignore us via giving jobs. They say we are not in position to do some things. But for me, I believe with these normal people, when they are together with us, we can do something. We cannot fail to do. We are able, but it's only sight which makes us to fail. Um,
Right.
and
So
secondly, yes,
right. Okay. Let me just to help the listener. Let's clarify a little here. So maybe when you were in an institutional setting, in a school or in a bureaucratic setting, they would tell you that you cannot do things because of your disability. But then when you were out in public places, then people didn't really mind as much like that, right?
yeah,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
And then the second thing,
Where
go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, when it is good when those people are being taken to school, it's good to request the administration committee to understand their problems. Because like me, for example, me, I went in the school where they were girls, and it was just a unit. They had agreed just a unit for the blind. So I had a challenge of getting work, bringing up my work, whereby the teacher can write on the blackboard and you are not seeing, whereby you need just to request a person to read for you, whereby it was just a wastage of time. You waste a lot of time. It is good for people who are helping people with disabilities around the world to request the committee of the school that no, you teachers should dictate work for the class such that we move together, you see. So here in Uganda, it has that challenge whereby you find that the teacher can be writing on the blackboard, you have no one to read it for you, and the teacher cannot overmind of you because he's not a teacher of special needs, you see, whereby it's not good and it gives us hard time to catch up with the others. When time reaches for exams, you find that you have missed some things, but we are able. That's so in we people with disabilities. We are able, but we lack some help just.
I understand you. I do understand. So it sounds to me like in Uganda, you are able to go to school. In other words, blind children go to the school, but the schools do not really know how to appropriately and successfully include the blind children in in the mainstream class. You're kind of there, but
Yes,
they don't really know how to include you. If they knew how, I'm sure that they would. I think some of the teachers would be kind and would be willing if only they knew. But sometimes I have found in speaking to people all over the world, I have found that sometimes people are ignorant sometimes, and in others they simply lack the knowledge they need. It's kind of a trick. You need to have the right amount of knowledge and the right amount of motivation to do the right thing. And if you don't have both, then then it doesn't happen. And I think that's what we're seeing in your case there in Uganda. Yes.
Yes.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I do understand, but where the challenge we get, Mr. Aaron, is that there are people in Africa here, and I believe it is all over the world. Now they can be talking to a person like you, or we might get friends from like your country who may wish to help us. But when they send help, you find that a person is doing what? Is not delivering, okay, what should be given to the person with that disability. That person might say, I want to pay school fees for so and so. And then when that person takes you to school, they might pay once. Then other times when those visitors come, maybe in Uganda, when they keep on asking on internet that, how is that person? They just come and take a photo and they send. And then other things that's why for me, I'm happy that if I'm to get a friend, it's better, like you, Richmond, it's better I get your contact, such that even if you are giving me help, I know that you are sending to me direct, you are to me as myself. I receive it in your name that I've received, and I tell you thank you, and you understand that he has received it. So, whereby it's giving us hard time. Someone might be a well wisher to help someone, but you find that it is so hard that help to reach on the person whom they are helping. You see, so also that one is another challenge which we are facing as we people with disabilities.
And you're absolutely right. And this is a huge problem for your region, that resources are not equally distributed. And unfortunately, the people who are affected the most are people with disabilities. And this is a big problem in your region and Asia, and really in any country, but it's especially a severe problem in your region. And the fact that we're talking about it and educating people about it, it doesn't, to the truth of the matter is, this conversation will not make the problems go away. I wish that it would, but unfortunately, the truth is it will not. But what this conversation will hopefully do is to educate one more person. If we tell people what the facts are, you'd be surprised how helpful it is when we educate, when we take an hour out of our day to educate one extra person, and that can really have a huge impact. So I agree with you. The other thing is that there's, most likely is a lot of corruption in different NGOs that are supposed to be helping, not only your country, but countries in Africa that are actually way worse than Uganda. And that's another problem too, is that in your region there's a huge spectrum of wealth. Countries that are relatively well off, countries in the middle like Uganda, and then countries that are very, very, very bad, like, many of them, quite frankly, are extremely not good in many different ways. So, the only thing you can do is the best you can, and go on to podcasts like this one, and talk to people, educate people about it, so that we're aware of the facts. So, and then what? So then you went to school, and then what did you do? After school and things like that.
Yeah, me, I went, but as the issue of our school fees, it's too expensive because of the materials we use. You find that I did not complete. That's what I can say. But if I can
Mm.
get help, still I can. Still, if I can get help, I can agree to go back because that's the only future
Uh,
I
under
should have.
understood. Well, please do not feel sorry for yourself about that. That is fine, my friend. You will be fine. You will be fine. God willing, I am sure you will do well. And simply the fact that you had the courage to come and talk to me today, some stranger from North America, shows me that you're going to do fine. So no, you should not worry. But so how do you like spend your time today? Do you have a YouTube channel? Do you podcast yourself? What do you do?
Yeah, for now I'm just there because I'm not yet good to what to do. But the YouTube channel I have as Wagibi Sam, the same thing. But I've not yet learned well how to use it for now. But I'm trying to see how I can learn, and then I be using it well the way it should be. That's what I can say for now.
Okay. So, well, I will certainly, if you can send me your YouTube channel after the interview, I will certainly include it in the description so we can get your views up on that channel for sure. But what are some topics that you have already covered on your channel?
Yeah, for now, Aaron, I've not covered much because also I became active so much this year. I'm still learning the issue of technology. I learn slowly by slowly. That's what I can tell you. When I get engaged with it, I can also learn more. And that's what I'm trying to work hard for. At least if I can get a computer, I believe I'll do well. 39 minutes ago. That's what I believe. Because for now I'm using just a smartphone.
Right. And that is really all you need, man. All you really need is a smartphone to have a podcast to upload to YouTube. And that's why podcasting is great, because there's really no barrier to entry. The barrier is your own motivation. So if you're motivated and you have something to say, then you're able to come. Yeah.
So I'm going to see the way as I'm still learning more, and then I'll try to make it. And indeed also I'm going to make sure that I try to see the way we can, at least to make people's minds to understand that also we are people and we see what will go on. There is change in the around the world. And also I'm going to try to move around. If I get some little support, I'll try to move around to talk to my fellow Ugandans to say that they see the world taking these people with disability to school, and then we see how life can move on.
Indeed. Yes. So there in Uganda, is there like an organization that helps blind people? Are there like blind groups there in Uganda for you to meet other blind people in your country?
It's a hard. I'm sorry to mention this because again, you told me that I should not. It's not good to spoil people's some donations somewhere somehow. But I need to make you to understand, and I want to make the world to understand that they can be there. Yes, I do agree. But there are some people who are in them, in those organizations, whereby they can come and register your name, but to see the deliverance out of that, you cannot see it. You will end on registration. You will see the person visiting you by the time of entering you in the organization, entering your name into database. But to see the outcome, you'll wait and wait and wait.
Right. So in other words, there are organizations that are supposed to help the blind in your country, but in fact, they really are they have a very hard time providing the help, in other words. Right.
Yeah, it is like they can help. Yes, I do agree. But those people who come down to us, yes, they hide what they have given out from the main administration there.
So in other words,
It's very
maybe,
hard.
yeah, yeah.
It's like you giving me something. It's like you telling me that you can register for me such kind of people. I register, I bring for you, I send for you, then you say, I'm sending for you this amount of money, and you can deliver to them. Whereby me, I don't deliver to them, but I just tell you that I've delivered. If not, I can just go and deceive them with the less, very less, not even 1%. Okay. Just to say this and this has happened, but 100% or 99 point something, it is in my pocket. I've not yet delivered. You say that.
Right.
And then I send you the photos. I send you the photos that this is what I've done, this is what I've done. That's why for me, I would like just to request that it's possible. For those who are helping, it's better you get the contact of the person you are helping to confirm what is going on. Yes, also you
Ah,
should do it. Yes,
right.
but not helping just when just someone the coordinator is just telling you whatever is going on, but you the the person who is helping, you don't know what's going on. They just send you the photos and what, and you just end on
Okay.
photos.
Okay, got it. So yeah, so that's excellent, excellent advice. So basically you're saying don't just give out your money to
Yeah.
these quote unquote charity organizations all over Africa, because in many of the cases they are not helping. In many cases they're just taking money. Would you agree with that? Is that a fair statement?
Yes, they just help themselves and their
They're
families, but
yeah.
the person whom you are helping
Yeah,
maybe even is
yes,
not
they're
getting
just helping
something.
themselves, right? They're helping themselves
Yeah.
and then telling you that they're helping you. They would say we're going to help this person, and then they never really do. Yeah. Well, that's part of that's you know what that's part of the problem. And by speaking up, by you coming to my channel and speaking up about that, that will help to make people aware of this problem. And this is a very, very well known problem. And quite frankly, this is really nothing personal about you, but one of the reasons why people do not like to give money to disability organizations in your part of the world is that we know that there are a lot of scams and people that just steal the money for themselves. It's very well known. So unfortunately, it's hard to solve the problem because of these evil people sometimes, right? So it's a huge problem. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very hard, Aaron, but it is simple. You, the donor, it's good to request or you see the way. Like now, you can buy for someone a smartphone. Yeah.
Right.
And then
Yes.
that smartphone will help. The, it will help you to have the contact, the email, WhatsApp number, Facebook for that
Uh-huh.
person. At least you can get such that you'll be in touch. Like when you're sending me money, as you are, for example, I can give you my MTN number and you send me via World Remit. If I give you my address, everything, it reaches on me and it will say, you have received it from Aaron. Then after, me, ask me some, I'll send you the message. I thank you, Aaron. Indeed, on WhatsApp or Facebook or in my email. Because also now, but now I'm happy with the technology which is going on that our application is like TalkBack. It's hard for the sighted person to use if they have not learned about it. It's very hard. So you cannot skip into my things when I'm not there. It's me myself to understand what's going on. So it's very good. That's what I'm requesting that. If it's there that you are helping someone, you struggle, you bear, you the person who is helping. You get for the person a device which you make for which can help you people to get communications, not someone to lie you with the photos only that have
Mm-hmm.
helped.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hey, someone can come and tell me that you can stand near that car. I stand, and they take me a photo, and they send it to you, Aaron. This is the money you gave me.
I understand you. Yes, you're thank you for speaking up about this. Is guys, this is what you need to be aware of, is that a lot of people, but you know what though, Wajibi, a lot of people fall for that, and a lot of people believe the photos and then send the money to the person, and it just kind of, as we say in English, it just kind of exacerbates the problem. It makes the problem like grow more and more and a bigger problem for your region. So it's very unfair for your region to have such a severe problem in this department as you do. But the fact is, there are problems in every country. So yeah, it's all you can do is be aware of the problem. Yes, definitely.
So that what I have in my minds, and I should do. That's why I'm trying to emphasize indeed on that, such that we people whom they are helping and the person who is helping, this you have some connection. Because even let me explain this way. Our coordinator, whom I'm saying, who eat our money when we are getting, indeed, they don't want even to get in touch, any communication with those people. They know that you tell out the secret. That's what they know. Even if you, Aaron, when you're helping a certain group and someone is just eating your money, you will come and you say, hi, me, I'm Aaron. In your conversation, you do not allow those people to overtalk. You see, they first advise them like, don't overtalk or don't tell what's going on here. Okay? You see, they first it's like they command them, they use even around. So that even if you come, they'll not tell you their problem, but instead they'll just talk only good things to lie you who is come, who is the visitor, whereby they're just sleeping, lying on their problem and sitting on it completely. You see. But now me as Wagibi, there are some leaders in Uganda who are not liking me because of that, speaking exactly what's there. I'm having hatred around in Uganda here. There are some leaders who are not liking me because of mentioning what's going on. So they don't call them even for meetings per now, because I will tell out that we have not received anything. So they don't include me now in their things. I'm sorry to mention, but it is there.
I believe
Yes.
you. I believe you. So there's a lot of polarization in your country. A lot of polarization. If you don't agree with the ruling party, if you don't agree with the leader, if you don't agree with, the guy who's running your neighborhood, then it affects you. Then they exclude you from other opportunity. Yeah, this is a big problem.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, for example, like you people who come to check on us, and if they've been knowing that you have been sending some money before, and now it has reached time also to say that let us go and visit those people whom we are helping, whereby it finds that they'll be not delivering what should be delivered. They'll first hurry with maybe 10,000 shillings, which is equivalent something like $3 US dollars. They'll come just to come and change, and they say, you people, this is what they have given. I have given you just some little sugar for you at least to be to use this. But there are some visitors who are coming, you be ready. You know that they have been eating, but now they want to confuse you. They want to blindfold you, and then they pass over you. When the day comes, you people, you arrive, you talk about some few things, and then even they make you that to have little time with those people. They don't want those people to overtell you most of the things, what is going on. They hurry. They don't want, even if you say that, let me go near that vista, and also I try to talk to that vista, they might quarrel to you a lot by telling you that, why do you go near my vista? Did you ask permission from me? You see, such kind of, yes. Because they know that tell out the secrets and you block their ways of getting money from the
Yeah,
visitors.
yeah, because they would because it's the sad reality is we have people in every country, not just Uganda. We have people I'm sure that are like this in America or anywhere. We have people that would rather steal and rather hurt you than help. There are people who would rather see you fail than succeed, and those are those people.
Yeah,
Those people who would and you just have to ignore those people. But every country manages every country manages to produce that personality. I don't know how we manage it, but every country's got that down pat. We can produce a person that's hateful and steals and takes advantage. And really, it shows that people are the same. And I believe that people are the same in every country. We speak different languages. We have different ways of life. A slightly different perspective, but there's a lot more similar than different. But the similarity is that there's a lot of evil people. Is what I'm seeing. Yes. Definitely.
yeah. So with me, Aaron, for now, on that issue, at least also I can try uh, to put it aside. And also something in Uganda here, like when a person with a disability and you say you are marrying, you find that some people try to mock at a woman you have got, you see. They try to see that they mock at that one. Oh no, those no people can come and grab you where necessary, you see. Whereby also it's a challenge around the world. They can just try to mock at the woman. They tell her that what will that one also give you? How is he going to manage to feed you? And also, like ladies, also they can just use them and pregnant them and leave them there. You see, it which is giving people with disability hard life. See that. They're not feeling okay because in their relationship. Yeah. That's why sometime when I'm in high school, they said if everything goes hard for me, I can just decide to marry a fellow blind person, so that I cannot be disturbed by other people. You see, that's what is going on. Also, it is a challenge, but we need also those sighted ladies, so that also they can help us in other things. You see. So in challenges, also I see that also it is there. And you find that also the mothers of the girls, they advise their girls that don't marry to that person. How will the community see us because you have married a blind person like that one? How will the community see you? But a woman can agree to go with you, but you find that just the community, it's disencouraging the woman, and you find that the woman has left you. You see, which is also a challenge around also this country.
Right, right. I've heard this story around the world as well, in different ways that in my what Jibe, in my situation, I am 30 years old, and at the moment, I happen to live with my parents and my brother. So I'm not at the point of life where I would be thinking about starting my own family, nor do I nor do I have any interest in that, to be truthful. But I have heard from other blind people who are in at that point in life that there is a lot of discrimination once you get married because you're blind, or they say, how are you going to take care of your children? How will you care for your wife? How will you care for your husband? It all revolves around the assumption that blind people cannot do things, and it's all a big problem. And this is there's a lot of judgmental people, in that way. Yeah.
So I would like to request some okay people all over the world, that let them not to take that as an opportunity to disagree with people with disability, that they should not marry normal people. No, they should do so also, because they are normal, but it's only the problem on just the problem they have, that they have just something little lacking on their bodies. Okay, but everything we are normal. I do believe with that. That's
Right.
also I can try to advise people around the world.
Right. So outside of the vision issue, we're just like anyone else, and I think that's very good advice. It does not prevent people from being ignorant, but it is the right attitude to have and the right response to give. Definitely, yes. Hmm.
Yeah, but with that, that's also I can try to say it's also a challenge around the world, whereby I would just request people to help, and they do so. They do. They should not be advising their children that don't marry people with disabilities, but they should do agree that also we are normal. We need their help, indeed. Yes, so that we keep on moving with our life. Because as me, if I marry a woman who is sighted, and then I produce my child who is sighted, that child also can guide me, can help me. You see. And also, it's good also for me to send my child that you can bring for me that, and that child of mine goes and brings for me what I want. You see. So that's that's what I want around the world. Parents who have their daughters, they should not encourage their daughters, but also they should also advise their daughter that also those people with disability can keep you people. You see, and those normal men also who want to marry women with disability, let them not uh, just mock at them. They should also know that indeed uh, they can help them, provided also they help them with, they give them their help. Indeed, those women also can help them, even if they have their disabilities. That's what I
Beautiful.
can say.
You're right. You're absolutely right. It's a beautiful thing to say. Yes. um. So, what are some, other activities that you like to do, in your free time?
Aaron, I like so my technology. And I see, because I'm trying to see the way forward, I want to know how can we get the way that we see, how can Jaws describe for someone something like pictures. That's what I'm trying to see. I don't know how I can make it, but I want, and what I'm praying hard, if I can get any way, I want to train people with disability, like mostly blinds. I want to train them computer, because that's the way we are moving. I need them to know much about computer, because it
Excellent.
makes
I
their life
agree.
easy. Yes.
You're right. You're
If
right.
if God, if God helps me that I get help, indeed I need to get the way of training people with disabilities, mostly blinds, to know how to use computers, whereby it will help them to have some jobs around. You see, and that's what I'm praying hard for. If I can get any chance, indeed I'm going to utilize it. And I see that I teach my fellow blind people to use a computer. At least for now, I have some little knowledge, but I want to add more. If God helps me that I stabilize with my own computer, I know that indeed I'll make it. I'll do practice and I have some little knowledge, and indeed you'll find that I'm teaching my fellows and I'm ready to do so.
Oh, beautiful, man. I love that, man. That's perfect. So good. So about like using a computer in Uganda, um, like what when you use your computer, what screen reader do you like to use?
I'd like to use yours.
Oh, good. Do you know how to use JAWS?
I know.
Oh, you
If money
do?
is not,
That is good.
yes, I do. Yeah, I do. But if money is not there, I can use even if NVDA. It can help me.
Indeed, NVDA. Yes, yes. So how does NVDA work with like let's say that you want to send an email in your language in Luganda. Like does NVDA like is it able to read like Luganda and the local languages around your country?
Uh, it depends when you are from. Yes, it may decide to underline some things, even if you have written correctly. If you write anything local, like if I write Wagibi, that one to it will underline as a wrong thing. It needs something.
Okay. So maybe NVDA needs to become more advanced in understanding the local languages there. Yes, that is interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
it needs you to understand it because it is you to know that I've written it correctly, but because of the computer, it has made it as a error. Yeah,
Right,
that's
right.
it.
Well, I'm sure when if you send someone a message and it's written, the words are spelled properly in your language, I'm sure that the other person understands. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, that's what I understand with NVDA. For example, when it's reading, it can read for you correct things on, and then it tells you those others. It can read for you, but it tells you error when it is touching on something which you have written in a locally way. Like my name, like Wagibi, it can read Wagibi. Wajibi. It can underline Wajibi, but it can tell you Wajibi error. It can mention as error. Wajibi. The name Wajibi. It's like you have made an error.
I got it. I got it. That's funny. That's funny. Yes, yes.
You
Well,
understand? Yes, as me, Wajibi, I've been knowing that I've written it correctly, but for it to say Wajibi as the error. Eh?
Well, that's very annoying. That's very frustrating. Maybe as you grow your network around the world, maybe you can speak to NVDA at some point and explain to them this that it's important for their software to recognize, your language, your regional language, and that when you set your computer to the region of Uganda, the software needs to be able to download the dictionary of Luganda or whatever language you want to write in. So, you know, so that when you're communicating with sighted people, the messages are perfect in whatever language. That's how it should be. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but with that, I'm ready, Mr. Richmond. If God helps me that I get anyway, I think I'm going to do so. Indeed, I'm ready to do something with the technology and I help my fellows.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's absolutely correct. I think that's absolutely definitely, the right thing to do for sure. So, and where have you traveled to, outside of your country? Have you been to the other countries around you?
No, I've never got that chance yet.
I see. I see. Okay. Mm. Well, another thing that has occurred to me is, and I don't know, I'm just asking, are there like radio stations or other podcasters like in your country that you could contact to share your story with?
Uh, they don't have that time for sure.
Oh, oh man, oh man. Once you
Been
join,
listening.
you know what? Once you join,
Yeah.
let's talk after the recording because I think there's a station that I know of in Gambia, and I know the person who runs the station in Gambia, and I'm sure they can talk to you and interview you because I'm sure that a lot of people will benefit from hearing your knowledge. So there is a station in Gambia that you should be on for sure. Yes.
Okay. But in Uganda, if you
Yes.
want to go and do that, it needs you to have money. You just gonna pay for the
Mm.
hours. If you want to pass out the message, you need just to go and pay them, and you tell them they give you the time that from this time up this time we need you here, and you share out your advices or whatever you want to talk to people. So you will come at this time. So they ask you for money. Exactly, you should pay, and then you go for that time, and then you finish, you get out.
Right. I do understand. Yeah. Yeah, it's very frustrating. Um well, and at any rate, I've asked you a lot of questions. Um, I like to keep these interviews to about, I do my best to time it at about 60 minutes of a recording. So we have about 4 minutes left today. Um, and I would like to know what questions do you have for me? What do you want to know about me? I've asked you a lot. Please ask me all of your questions. Go right ahead.
So, Aaron's,
Yes.
what should we do? According to you, what should we do so that we can overcome these situations? For example, I should talk where I am now. What can you do for me? Which help can you try to help me with so that I try to help people? You are.
Well, the promise I can make, and I never make promises I cannot keep, but the promise I'm making to you right now, Wagibi, my friend, great friend from Uganda, of course, is that and I'll give you more. I'll give you more details after the recording because it's a little. It's just easier if I explain it to you afterwards. But I will send you this video, and this will be and once you have this video, you need to share. You can
Yeah.
share the video with your friends, with your contacts, with other people who care about you and are interested in your success. And in the video's comments, you will also see the podcast link for the audio episode. And if you want me to send that separately at a later date, just ask for that. But um, but that is what I'm able to do. I'm able to promote your video, to promote this video, and to give it to others who care, and to show people, the truth about what's going on. And then this is a YouTube video. It's a podcast wherever you get a podcast. We are all over social media. You'll be in my WhatsApp group. I forget if my our Gambian friend is still there, the one who has the radio station, but you have inspired me and have reminded me to reach out to him because I haven't spoken to my friend from Gambia in quite some time, so I'll just start talking to him and see what's going on. But um but that
Yeah.
that is what we can do. We can speak up, we can educate others, and we can make content that others enjoy. And that's just keep on doing that. And that really has a huge effect on society. It has a major, major consequence, and a consequence in a positive way in your life, and the lives of anyone who listens to Aaron's opinion too. Right?
Okay. It's good.
Good. All right. Well, good. And
So
yes, yes. Ask me. Yes.
let me hope now you are having my WhatsApp number in my recordings, the other side on
Well, I
Facebook.
will. Well, I'm going to send you the link. I'm going to send you the link to the WhatsApp group, and then you can join it. Yes.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay.
The excellent, excellent. Yes.
So another question, R.
Yes.
Will it be possible for you to get for me some people? Indeed, at least I see the hope of getting education little. As we have shared that I get some computer and I see what to do to help my fellow blind people.
Well, I'm sorry. I cannot. I do not have access
Yes.
I do not have access to extra technology, but I do have access to extra influence and extra reach. So, and
Yeah.
um, we are I will say this on the air that we are expanding Aaron's opinion too. It's something that's
Yes.
going to happen in just a couple of days, but mostly the number one thing you can do is speak up and be on podcasts and be active in media like this. This experience will tremendously help you a lot. Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I would like to end the interview here by saying thank you so much, and thanks for joining me today. Keep up your great work, and God bless you, and you're doing great. So let's end it there, and take care, everybody.